Good evening, folks, and welcome to part 7, the final part of this mostly fresh start Malkadarr Reaper. Whatever we see, whatever we get is what we end up with. So we'll do some more farming, do some SR, do low car, and wrap up the character. You can farm Malkadarr indefinitely. Thing is, we will keep farming him for a bit, but at some point, either we're going to get the drop or we're not. And only willing to spend so much time farming him. Hey, Farnsworth. Yeah, started about 5 minutes early today. It's this is level, yeah, it's level 92. So that's the main I think if this was a level 94 Chill of Arcane Balance, I would have said good enough. But get some better gear than SR and Lokar. Storm charge the Frostbite. I see we were off to a fantastic start. Good day, welcome in, Violet. Yeah, Prickly, welcome in. Crimson Card of Thunder. Wonderful. I see VII is slowly rebuilding the streak. Nice. Alright, let's see if we can avoid lightning rolls this time. Now, granted, this game gives the game a whole list of ways to troll me that aren't lightning, but... Incanters of Alacrity. Incanters is Fizz to Ellie, which I can't use. And it's also level 92, so it's not even good. Acid rolls, here we come. Yeah, exactly. Venom Fang of the Venom Claw when? Although I will say, if I got a level 94 Venom Fang of the Venom Claw, I would probably keep it and find a wonky build to use it for. Although, actually, the Vit to Cold would still be weird. I guess you could use the execution bonuses, but yeah, no. The Venom Fang of the Venom Claw on this would just be bad. Yeah, that's the game trolling. Shield of the Slayer. It's level 94. It's oh, of the Slayer is a bunch of pierce damage. This is flat pierce, which and then chance of a bunch of extra pierce. This is probably just bad, right? I mean, that's not the MI we're going to accept anyway. It doesn't really matter. Oh, Farnsworth, I finished book 3 of Dungeon Crawler Carl. I still don't know why I'm reading it, other than the fact that, you know, I hop on the bike for half an hour and I need something to keep me entertained that doesn't require too much thought, and it kind of works for that. And there in my library has all the ebooks thus far, so it's not like I'm paying for it. It's like fast food, yeah. And I don't feel guilty about it because I'm getting exercise while I read it. I also I finished book 2 of my series of 5 books that I'm going to be writing to kind of start exploring this world I started creating decades ago. I mean, there's enjoyable aspects of it. I find the characters boring. I just not they're just not that interesting to me. Some of like the people running the game are, or if anything, maybe more interesting. Like the it's like, you know, Mordecai and like the people who do some of the interviews and things like that. Like the motivations of those people are maybe a tiny bit more interesting, but I feel like the protagonist just like I pretty much don't care. Yeah, I don't know. There's just not that. It's not super compelling to me. Yeah, that stuff is a bit more. That stuff is kind of interesting. I feel like the some of the subplots are much more interesting than the kind of protagonist characters. Like, yeah, I mean the problem is there's so much of Carl though. it's written, Carl's point of view. So, okay, yeah, I understand your question a little bit better now. Yeah, I would say the more we learn about people who aren't Carl and the cat, some of them are some of them are definitely interesting. I think it's kill, kill, kill. Rune carved of spines, and go again. So yeah, I'm reading book 4 of Malazan now, and when I finish that, I'll probably, or maybe even before I finish it, because this is the one. I think Malazan is not the best bike reading because you have to pay a bit more attention, and two, this is the book the library gave me that's basically falling apart. So I'm reading it very carefully, sitting down. I have it on a table, so it takes as little damage as possible. Yeah, I love how we have 3% fizz res. Shield of the Sage. I could see that from what I know about that stuff, which is admittedly not a lot. Fair enough. It's going to be level 92. It's not going to be level 94. Don't get excited. Oh. Well, look at that. It's level 94. Okay. We take it. All right. Shield of Shattering. We take, was it, Creed's Cunning, the Shard of Baranath. All right. I think we also... Only other question is, do we want to farm Ilgor, or do we just say Mythical Undying Oath is good enough? And it's +2 Pneumatic Burst, and gives a bunch of flat cold to Pneumatic Burst, and a bunch of flat health, and a bunch of just flat cold on the item itself. Like, this feels like a reasonable item. And do we put a diamond in the helm is, I guess, the other big one. Yeah. It is definitely an interesting change from the old days. Alright, our bleed res is absolutely abysmal. Where are we with rovers anyway? Let's do a Steps of Torment run, why not? And then look and see what else we have. Alright, Liches of Frostbite, Wraithbound. I mean, these aren't amazing rings. We could go for try to get better living rings, but I mean, this is the Wraithbound is not bad. It's well, +3 Soul Harvest might actually make keeping that worthwhile. I just wish it was something like of Alacrity, but Maybe we need to be realistic about the affixes we're actually going to get. This is vigorous of vitality. We might be able to get something better, but of vitality is really nice. We have 19.3k health, which is very solid. All right, we want to, I think. Could also rovers check their bounties, maybe. I think Steps of Torment is going to make some good progress on rovers rep for us anyway, but if that's not enough, we have to decide if we want to keep running it or if we want to do something else. I figure for rep purposes, we see an elite, we kill the elite. A very good Ilgor medal is better than the medal we have now, but the medal we have now is in good enough territory. Oppressors of Decay. So for a VIT character, +2 Bone Harvest, Clarity of Purpose, obviously, yeah. I don't know if we're going to bother putting that in the stash or not, but it's not for us. Fishing Hat, welcome in. Alright, now we go for Alchemist. We are going of the long way, I guess. After checking every other possibility. Alright, so we've got double Chilled of Shattering level 94 weapons. That's... Wanting better than that is just being greedy at this point. If you were going to spend 30, 40 hours on a character, then maybe you go for triple rares, but... Out of curiosity, what's our freeze res? 65. Alright, I mean, it's not great. It could be worse. Yeah, Alchemist is just really avoid the pools. That's, I think 2 soul runs and 2 runs. That's not the build fishing hat. It's level, it's a Malkadarr Reaper, which I don't think I have the current Grim tools handy. We could pull it up, but there were... He spawned 4 pools. We just didn't go into them. Alright. And make a couple more skeleton keys just in case. Yeah, I don't really care about Solar, I'm just going to sell it. I'm sure that someone's screaming at this at the display here, but just it does not matter to me at all. I have a million of them in inventory. So Soul Blade, same thing. Targo, well, I mean, F that set in particular, but even so. Fishing hat. We are trying to see if we get a decent Ilgor medal, but while we're down there, we figure we might as well kill Alchemos. So if we get a really nice roll on an Ilgor, we'll replace the medal that we have. Otherwise, we'll be keeping this Undying Oath, which is pretty good. Oh, of course you spawned a healer just out of view. Like, this character does ideally take Alchemos rings, but the RNG necessary to farm them, unless we want to turn this into, you know, add 10 hours to the video to farm Alchemos rings, is just not worth it. I'm mostly just happy we got Shield of Shattering level 94 weapons for main and offhand. Like, that alone is pretty respectable. Oh, you are a healer. You need to die. Menacing a frostbite, but it's the wrong one. I have so many of the sides that I just basically sell them at this point. Yeah, seems a pool right there. And here he comes. Yeah. It's okay taking this thunder there because we had Mark of Torment on. Yeah, it's a little easier in the season mod because of the portals that take you down to the third floor of the dungeons, but I will say I've always enjoyed Steps of Torment. It's not the worst place to be doing a little bit of farming. Yeah, I think I've done Magi Ring farming on stream before. You do get a lot of the fake ones. Yeah, similar boat, Viley. There's probably a time when they were massively overused. And I do think there's something to say for considering the difficulty of farming an item with how strong it is. Vigorous of the Gildum Arcanum. Let's see. So energy, health, chaos res, skill disruption, protection. We lose all the flat cold. Seems not great. I'm just moderately curious. All right, so we have way more. We have way more health if we put this on. 72,000. 78,000. Okay, so it looks like it's a DPS drop, which isn't. I suppose it's not shocking. The Undying Oath is actually pretty good for damage, given the flat and then flat to pneumatic. Alright, just bursting down with Mark of Torment. Jeez. How many? That's 3 soul runs? In 4 or 5 runs? Actually, I never have Farnsworth. I thought about doing it, but never really loved the love the build. It feels like a soft core set. We'll do a quick easy bounty. You play it as Infiltrator? I mean, calling that a Nightblade is like calling my Cold Doombolt spam Witch Hunter a Nightblade. I mean, yes, technically it's true, but it's not really what you think of when you think about a Nightblade. They may be fighting words, but tell me they're wrong. All right, forget it. I mean, it's not saying Arcanist is wrong. It's saying is it really an Arcanist? Like, yes, technically it has Arcanist in it, but I play Spellbreaker, exactly, which is a Nightblade with the support from Arcanist. Yeah, I mean, Arcanist is a very strong support class for a lot of builds. Most of the Arcanist skills, I do like Aether Ray. And Panetti's apparently is better than it used to be, but like in general, the Arcanist skills do not feel great to play. TSS feels horrible. Sorry, Ground Zero. Baldur's Gate 2 will probably happen before Runebinder. So I'm not going to fiddle with Item Assistant until 1.3 comes out officially, and then I'll worry about it. And once I have Item Assistant, then I'm much more open to considering builds like that. Hey, welcome in, Master Halls. We got the level 94 Chilled of Shattering Malkadarr sword. So, yay us. I'm sorry, but TSS is just... I want to like it. But TSS has almost no sustain. You have to go something like Regen or Dryad, which tanks your damage. I think there's one set that gives some weapon damage to it or something like that, but that's pretty much it. Like, Aether Ray has easy items that give you sustain. Panetti's has some even. CT is weapon damage based, so sustain's just not an issue. And then you have TSS where, like, yeah, you can move around and stuff, but your sustain is basically not getting hit. Okay, are we going to get a fourth Soul Rend? That's sort of insane. Oh, thank goodness. That would have been crazy. Vanquisher set piece. Bad Fizz Res roll. Almost consider selling it. Chill Whisper is a great set. Ikriel, welcome in. I would say once you know the game and the boss attacks and such, Hardcore and Grim Dawn is very fair. I can't specifically compare it to D2, but the other thing to keep in mind with the Grim Dawn versus D2 or D2R is that Grim Dawn, you go through the game, you level your character. If you're starting out, it'll take a while to farm the gear, find the sets you really want to make everything work. But once you've done that first character, farm some blueprints and such, getting a Grim Dawn character to max level and max performance output is a much less grindy experience than doing the same for a D2 character. I think I want to say I've seen people spend 100 hours leveling a D2 character. I don't know if that's a slight exaggeration, but it just feels like that watching some of the streamers who play D2. Whereas Grim Dawn, if you're efficient, you can basically level, and this takes time. You can level a character, get to end game, do most of the end game content, and be done with a character in 10 hours. Now, you could, if you want to farm perfect green gear and things like that, then obviously you can spend a lot more time on it, but you can probably get to at least 95% of max performance pretty easily. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the only thing you will definitely, if you're playing Grim Dawn, it's not that it's a super hard game or anything, but if you don't know certain boss attack patterns, a few things are pretty deadly. But I guess once you experience it, you won't fall for it again. So you do have that. All right, put the Vanquisher piece here. I think where are we with Rovers? We're almost to Revered. Is this the... I'll keep this in stash just in case. Sloran we don't care about. I don't think... yeah, I don't care about these either. And let's do some Witch God bounties, because I think we're going to take the Salile's Bloodbinding most likely as a augment for a little bit of extra health in DA. Yeah, you will typically have enough resist reduction to get through any mob's resistances. Some of the human mobs can wear gear that gives them additional resistances. So if you don't have your resist reduction devotions and such lined up, this would typically be on higher difficulties. They feel immune, but it's really more you just don't have enough resist reduction to deal with them. But those are pretty rare. There's like the fire mobs outside the Burwitch Village Rift and a few things like that. But I do like that immunity to a particular damage type isn't a concept, so you really can and should focus on one damage type in Grim Dawn. Alright, Corvin City, Kenyon Bernhardt. Let's go. And we'll do rover bounties when we're done with the Witch God ones. Okay, we got 30 blooms. We might we can get some better resistances somewhere. We might consider like an Arcane Spark, but I don't mind the Ward Stone in the metal that much. And once we confirm what's staying in the metal, we can put a better movement rune on it. Oh yeah, the pit bosses have definitely they're way harder than anything else at that point, so they have definitely ripped some new players and experienced players alike who have decided to go in there. Kenyon Bernhardt, where are you? Trying to kill this one stupid boss. I don't really care about you, Dravis. Is it me, or does Dravis's laugh right there sound like an evil Krusty the Clown? Alright, that's a reasonable enough one. Kill the Wraith. While we're there, we can always farm gargoyle belts. Right, I didn't either, Farnsworth. I just heard that. It's just... It literally sounds like Krusty's signature laugh, but evil. If only rakes were in the game. Kelsey Grammer. Yep. Side to above, exactly. Also, I've always liked the show Frasier. Though imagine we exported that much less than we exported The Simpsons. Okay. Couple gargoyle elites. Cutthroats of Mending. Yeah, nothing really there. Prismatic of the Cabal. Meh, not really worth anything. Oh, right. Let's buy the Ritz if we're going to do this. I don't think we care about the Dree, but money's not really an issue for us right now, so buy the Ritz, we'll use them, then we'll turn in the bounty. I think we did the last one without the Ritz. Not a huge deal. Super Nintendo Chalmers. Okay, Raynar. Family Guy definitely has its funny moments, but it's also cruder, and I think the characters are much less relatable. Like, you know, that said, after the first decade of The Simpsons, they started to deviate from what made the characters good. Let's go over to Rovers. All right, we reset. Indeed. Yeah. Back when he was streaming, weren't about half of Magifer's redemption options Futurama references? That doesn't surprise me, Farnsworth, that you instigated a lot of those. Check for a totem here. Watcher of Erelon. Not what we want. That's rough. I've been fortunate that I can still mostly sing and do all the things I used to do. My baritone has been fairly constant for I don't know, 20 years. All right, we got to see if there are any gargoyle elites to consider, just in case they drop a better belt. I don't think we're. It's just nice to have a ton of health. It's not the best role in the world, but given how much time we spent trying to farm one, I'm not super committed to getting better ones. I figure as a Scorched Ends is fine, but it's the wrong one. All right. A couple Rovers bounties should get us to Revered. Yeah, we're not doing... Not gonna do that. Okay, we can go for Killarian. Yeah, between the bounty and killing the mobs, that'll almost get us to Revered. Especially if we hit the totem on the way. Oh, look at that. He dropped a soul. Not that we need it, but that one is going in the shared stash. Okay. I don't want to transfer everything, just the one soul. That sounds suboptimal, Violet. So you definitely need to get more chocolate then. I think that is very clear, Violet. Though if this is a tonight thing and the shops are closed, which would make sense given the time difference, that's another matter. Oh, that's corpse. That's not even resilient plating. Titanivore. We're really going to play hide and seek with a Titanivore. Like, just run through your normal spot, dude. This is such an absurd thing when he does not want to show up in the spot he's typically supposed to be in. We may even have to reset, but... Oh! Oh, there you are. Why are you all the way over there? Why are you running away from me? Oh my gosh. I have not yet, Violet, now. Alright, Killorian again, fine. Let's go back here just in case the Titanivore wanted to join the party. There you are. Put Mark of Torment on him. I have not, Master Halls. I think they made some changes to it somewhat recently that made it more interesting. I just don't remember what those are. Let's go for Killorian now. All right, have a good night, Farnsworth. Thanks for dropping by. See you next time. We'll be doing some more Dishonored tomorrow. Your dreams can't even be memes. But at least you can be poetic about it. Alright, almost done with the rep grind. Yeah, I did Chaos AAR, not with AAR as the main skill, but with The Dark Flame or Black Flame set. I think Black Flame. And I think with the changes they made for Chaos AAR, so you don't have the weird split conversion anymore, playing that as AAR seems more interesting. We are playing a Reaper, which is Nightblade and Necromancer. We're doing that, one, because I like dual-wield melee Nightblades a lot, and two, because this weapon has modifiers to Nightblade and Necromancer weapon skills. Also has VII to cold conversion, which is really good for us. And this also has a Nightblade and Necro weapon skill added damage. Probably hard to combine, but I mean, the thing is, in Grim Dawn, you can mess around with pretty much everything. It might end up being a meme, but you can still do it. Can we? Yeah, we're not. Try not to get arcaned here. All right. Shot his arcane. He missed. Like in general, Nightblade does not have a lot of support for pets. Doesn't mean you can't do it, but if you want the build to be as strong as possible, it's probably not the way to go. Like pets, typically you do two with a few kind of niche builds aside. Necro, Shaman, and Occultist are the three big pet classes, and you'll typically take two of them. But yeah, like I said, you can do pretty much anything. Just takes a little bit of creativity and understanding that it might not be the best since it's not quite meta. And I've played some wonky stuff in my day too, so kind of comes down to what you enjoy. Okay, Revered. Yeah, we don't need to worry about this stuff. By the Slow's blood binding is the one we want, right? Yeah. Do they have any weapon augments that are good? I mean, this isn't... Creed's Cunning, I think, is just better. Yeah, there's an embarrassment of riches in terms of stuff that you can theoretically do in this game. All right. I think we keep the Wardstone. It's not an amazing endgame component, but it serves a purpose that's useful for us now. Maybe we can drop the Runestone, though. Let's see. Replace this with a Prismatic Diamond. I think overall that's a better call. All right, Arcane Spark, Wrathstone, and I want to say Amber, but I'm going to, it's SSF, so I'm actually going to check to make sure. Okay, Arcane Spark. Oh, it's Radiant Gem, of course. Okay. So Dense Fur, Molten Skin, Radiant Shell. And that'll get us another Circuit Breaker. Keep item. Alright, so we could... A little bit more Elemental Overcap wouldn't be bad. We can probably do... Petrify, Freeze, Res. Yeah. Moosey could be a little sketchy. But... Otherwise, okay. Stick to Wraith Scream, I think. Okay, Poison Overcap. Let's... Kingsguard Powder. Vit Bleed. Okay, Bleed we kind of need a little bit, but Vit not so much. Okay, so Bleed is basically 79 is basically not overcapped, but it'll be what it is. 45. So that'll go down to 33. I think we'll take one Coven Warding. Actually, are we revered with Homestead? We are, which means we actually have rare occasion to use a Fire and Lightning Res Augment. Like, you're almost never going to use this in endgame, but we happen to have extra cold res on some piece of gear. Oh yeah, the Undying Oath. So lightning and fire is actually better because it gets us 3% more resistance. Extra health and DA. Okay, so DA is over 2,700. Health is over 20,000 now. So yeah, first things first. Let's do very basic SR14 run for the skill points. Alright, so we want Haunted. We might as well craft, in case we decide to do more SR, but we'll do the Haunted Waystone for now. Up for Haunted Waystone, 14th Shard. And yeah, this is just, this is just for skill points. We don't really care about loot. Okay, they have damage reduction, more health. We have random chaos res. Literally moosey. Probably okay at this level. At a higher level, we probably take a Hoarfrost. In fact, freeze res pots are probably a good idea in general for us to carry if we go deeper in SR. Oh gosh, healers. The healers when you're trying to kill an arcane or something else. Oh, for God's sake. Really, Alexander? Wasn't planning on running into a Nemesis there, but it's fine. Usually you want to face a Nemesis early in the shard because the completion bonus for the shard you get for killing a Nemesis is decent. They nerfed it a bit, but it's still pretty good. So when you're almost done and you run into a Nemesis, it's kind of annoying. Got the arcane, which is critical. Azalian, Guardian of Bismiel. I don't even know what the third one is. Oh, is that Bolvar? All right, let's see. We have 3 attribute points to spend. I know we looked at let's see, 25, 23, 48, 70. Unfortunately, we're just in this awkward spot where we're going to have more than 100% weapon pool skills. Not ideal. So yeah, let's go max Knight's Chill. And we can throw some extra points. Maybe we do Elemental Awakening. $3,009. Alright, that's not enough OA to be worth it. We'll undo that when we get back out.
What troubles you? Safe journey.
I mean, we could also get a bunch of extra DA. But I think we go damage. Anyway, so we're going to fight Lokar now. Typically, on a optimized min-max build, I'm not going to bother with pots on Lokar. For an SSF character, I do like to give him a little bit more respect, so we'll do that. yeah, and one other thing, for Lokar's dungeon, you actually freeze res is important, so we'll craft some hoarfrost pots as well. It's always worth going through and seeing if you can get the any of the Dark One pieces. Okay, that's one. That's two. Okay, we got a Dark One piece. Let's try to pick it up. Three, and then the last one's back here a little further. Alright, we got one Dark One piece out of this. It's not the worst. Anyway, given the absurd number of Aether clusters we have, we're going to go Mark of Torment, cluster Mark of Torment for the Lokar fight. We're also going to drink our pots. Show Lokar that we have some respect for him. Nice and easy. Even sidestepped a little at the end just to not get hit by as much, but we stayed in face tank range. Durmeister, welcome in. Yeah, it's Malkadarr, Reaper in general is pretty good for damage. Anyway, let's so this character's done everything I like an SSF character to do, which is SR14 for the skill points and show it can kill Lokar. This character also very easily could do things like totem farming and the like. So the core of what we do is done, but we can still do a little bit of SR to see how it is as an SR farmer. Alright, we'll start with the Desecrated Waystone, and then we'll do Celestial after that. I mean, you can do the fight without the crystal. You just have to pay attention, and you have the alternative of just fighting with Mark of Torment, backing away when that's down, and so forth. So you have options. My thing is, you get so many clusters, especially if you've run Malmuth a few times, that it's very easy to to just do that as a fight strat. Yeah, it's not like we're using some rare item to make the fight winnable. It's something that you can easily farm a half dozen of in 5 minutes tops. And I think if you're on an SSF character and you want to safely fight Lokar, clusters are cheaper than characters, so yeah. This is always a fun level. See if we burst him down before his shield comes up again, and we do. Is that Kaizen? We don't really need to fight. If we don't need to fight you, why bother? Absolutely. Feel free to link a Grim Tools. Okay. Rutnik, Azalian, Iron Maiden, Zarya. Okay. We fight Rutnik. Okay. Oh, we got both of you. Hooray. Yeah, thing with Zarya is the crystals are scary. So ideally we don't want to get hit by those. Alright. Easy enough. We're just testing. I don't really care about loot, so we're not going to do 2 levels. Let's see, what do we have here? Oppressor. So and this is okay, so this is a VIT build. So Blight Lord does I guess VIT, and I think it does fire, but in a weird in a different way. So you've got full Blight Lord, which is giving you legitimate RR on Raven. Well, it's legitimate percent reduced RR on Ravenous Earth. Okay, extra Guardian, sure, but that gives him fire RR. That doesn't really matter. Select Grava Pants. That makes sense. Aether to Acid. Let's see, what are you doing for damage? You're mostly Ravenous Earth. Where's your... Okay, you have Revenant for flat. That's good. Hungering Void for Vit, right. Okay, sure. Gallows, Behemoth, Ratosh. Hmm. The only thing I'm looking at is Crane. It does have resistances, of course, but you also... I mean, depending on if I don't know if this is your homebrew or if this is something some crazy forum guy designed, but like if there's not a specific reason for Crane, I feel like you could take you could get Turtle, which would give you 3 blues, which would free up some affinity points, and you could rejigger the devotions a little bit, get an additional circuit breaker, and use that. That's the that's probably the main thing. I just I've never liked Crane. Like it has resistances. It's not the worst thing in the world, but you could probably get equal affinity points by dropping Crane and taking something else and doing a bit of rearranging. Yeah, Lotus as well. Oh, there's no acid to wait. Hold on. But the see Blight Lord uh Blight Lord gives full global acid to Vit conversion, so that's fine. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no skill specific, but it's there. So this is RF with no weapon pool skills, and okay. All right, Guardians are procking Ratosh. Raise the Dead is on Righteous Fervor. I mean, it makes sense why you do that. Do you have any item skill modifiers for since you never play melee? Fair enough. All right. I'm just looking at this. I'm wondering. RF is probably not your main source of damage, which is making me think it might be okay for the stats. It is giving you armor, a bunch of DA, and other stuff while it's working, but maybe drop it to 16. Are you doing retail? Because the Rata of RF is not. Drop that to 1 point maybe. Get resilience to 6. Get presence of virtue to soft cap. If you want Vire's Might, that's also probably worth having. All right, you have damage reduction from what do you call it? Ravenous Earth. So that's all right. And Foul Eruption is kind of weird. It only that's the third node of Ravenous Earth. So Foul Eruption only works if on enemies that are killed by Ravenous Earth. So it's kind of unreliable. I would probably just 1-point that. And let's see, what can you can get Mark of Torment up to 10. Path of the Three is Fire to Acid, sure. Just looking at I have this on my own screen. I'm not doxing myself, so I'm not displaying the screen I'm working on, but I'm going to give you Vire's Might just in case. You don't have to use it, but just have a sense of what that might do. And you can put a little more into the second node of Ascension too. Like, I'm even debating if the weapon pool skills are worth it. Like I'm one pointing all of them, and else I don't have a like for skill points. Maybe something like this. For devotions, I'd probably see if you can get Turtle and maybe a Viper for efficient affinity. That would let you drop load. I'd say like Turtle, Viper, Lotus instead of Crane. I don't have the exact devotion pathing handy, but you can you can play around with you can play around with that a bit. I think if you can get Turtle, you probably want to do that. And yeah, the dagger is interesting because it's CDR to Ravenous Earth, which you also get from the metal. It's an interesting concept. It seems creative, and that just get some decent. Well, you'll also have components and stuff that'll help you with OA, DA resistance, so forth. So yeah, you should. I think you should be able to play this and get it into reasonable shape. Thanks, Vastercron tomorrow, Angry Mike. Welcome in. Probably not, but yeah. So I linked the some thoughts on the skills, and then devotion. I'd see if you could get away from using Crane and Frostborn Spectral Battle Axe of Fury. It is a triple rare. Rampage of Attack Milton Helm's not bad. Yeah, I don't really. I guess I could pick this stuff up and sell it. It doesn't really matter. not a max phys res roll. That's why we're just going to sell that. And I guess we don't actually have to exit. We can just go right back into SR. But we'll try SR 26, the Celestial Waystone, because if you can do SR 26, 27, it's not the theoretically optimal place for SR if for a strong character in terms of farming efficiency. But if you can do 26, 27 on a new character, you can farm things like SR set, and you have a reasonable chance of getting most of the stuff that matters. Offer Celestial Waystone. All right, make sure we have Blade Spirits. Okay, we have max all res and extra crit. Okay, Fabius with the extra pierce is scary, potentially. They have more health and some burn damage. If we run into Moosey, we'll use a Hoarfrost Pot. I think that's a good general practice. If you run into a powerful mob that can freeze you. Speak of the devil. Get Mark of Torment on Moosey. Hey, Morndale, welcome in. Oh, great, we got the council. Okay, so we do the council last. We do Benny, Abadoth, Moosey, and council. All right. Benny, come over here. We did Lokar and SR 20 so far. So, I mean, that's more than we usually do on an SSF run, but... We're getting hit by Sunder. My timing of piloting's a little bit off. Alright, he's dead. Abadoth. You get over here. Don't need to fight you with Moosey. Alright, let's get away from that. Is he dead? Yeah, he's dead. Alright, Hoarfrost Pot is still up for us. I'll pull Moosey a little bit. Mark Torment. And last but not least, the Council, so that they don't get to buff each other or buff all the other mobs. Alright, just one guy left. Yeah, I have to say I do think the new PoE 2 patch looks pretty good from what I've seen. But I'm also waiting for Fangs of Asterkarn. Because Fangs of Asterkarn and Grim Dawn in general, outside of the community seasons, you can just play at your leisure when you want. You don't have to worry about, am I around the weekend the league launches or anything like that. Not that I'm expect to be competitive in any PoE league anytime soon, but just knowing that you're behind from the start never feels good. And they did reduce the timer for SR, so being able to clear quickly is a bit more important. That is Kuba. I don't need to fight him with this amount of clock left, so we are not going to. PoE 2, I think, is just the trailer they launched. And I did like that they said this is the last update before we're going 1.0. So for everyone's waiting for it to go free to play, they'll likely be able to do that by the end of the year, I think is the plan. Who do we have? Reaper. We probably could fight him, but trash mobs are just so much easier, and with Nemesis not being worth as much, just finding even trash and random elites you find along the way seem like the way to go in SR now. FOA, we're getting an announcement about the announcement this month. Is the latest. But I mean, May could be May 31st. boss room. Galacros, Zentarin, Abadoth, Fabius. Let's go left to right. Galacros, come down here. Abadoth again. Bring him over. And we'll deal with Fabius last. Okay. You don't need to be standing away. You don't need to be standing away from your... or standing too close to your crystal. I don't know if that's as deadly as the Zarya crystals. I just don't want to mess around with it in SR. Oh, come on. Get over here. Alright, you're dead. Alright. I didn't know how bad that reflector was going to hit me. We probably didn't need the cluster there, but... it's all good. Okay, the boots we have are reasonable for this build. They give us the OA we want. We never bothered putting points. 2 more in spirit, fine. But Amatok is always a pretty good boot as well. Yeah, that sounds scary, Violet. I'm glad I didn't stand too close. These are a 5% Fizzers roll. We'll keep these. Okay, so we did a bunch of Steps of Torment runs on this build. We showed we could do low car very comfortably. We can do SR. SR 2627 as well without too much trouble. So for farming purposes, you can get this to wow, we've 22 hours 34 minutes on this character. I mean, it's not terrible for an SSF run given the amount of farming we did. the amount of times we had to farm Malkadarr. It's not even a triple rare, but it's a Shield of Shattering, which is the role you want if you're not getting a triple rare. And his penchant for dropping level 90 two weapons that are an 84 base, well documented on this stream. And also, final thing, I think it's not going to matter, but we forgot to put this on, but you do want the Amatox breath ability. So curious. Biggest crit 8 is 430. It's not amazing. Probably like execution or something like that in SR, but I think you do a bit more SR. That number, even with not having amazing OA, will go up a bit. But anyway, let's send you guys Grim Tools for this. This is the final final Grim Tools. Yeah, I will try to remember to post on the forums, Viley. So yeah, that is the final Grim Tools for this build, and let's see who's on. Looks like so we got Warborn. I'll send you guys to him. I appreciate everyone hanging out. Tomorrow Thursday we will probably send do some more Dishonored, and then we'll start a new build. Actually, while you guys are here and before I send you to raid, I'm going to give people a chance to vote on what MI we use next. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. I think I'll just allow one vote. And Spectral War Maul does not let me complete the word ritualist. That's not really a typo. That's just limited number of characters. But the Opulent Dervish and the Ritualist with Spectral War Maul, which now has bonuses to Upheaval, are the two builds I'm considering doing SSF next. So I'll let you guys vote on that. And we'll take a look in a few minutes. If there's like one vote, then it probably won't be as binding as if there's a ton of people voting. And then once that's done, I'll send you guys over to Warborn. But yeah, Dishonored Wednesday, Thursday, and more Grim Dawn and other SSF run starting Saturday, which will be the Opulent Dervish. Would probably level that Shadow Strike with Rift Scourge Slicers if I had to guess. And then the other option would be Spectral War Maul. Looks like the poll's winding down another 30 seconds or so, just judging by the length of the bar. And probably final couple seconds to get a vote in. All right. So, Spectral Warmaul Ritualist has 1 vote. Opulent Dervish has 0 votes, which means either you guys were all set all ready to raid Warborn and it didn't vote, or something else, which is totally fine. But that means if I get the vote, then I could swing it either way. So I'll play one of those characters starting Saturday. All right. See you guys next time, and have a good one.